Bern are points on the road this afternoon at Kettering. How do you assess the team's performance?
Listen, it's not been a great game by any stretch. I feel like we've come here off the back of a heavy defeat Tuesday. The main thing is that we don't lose the game. Was that the team talk? No. It was go out, be yourself, execute what we're good at. If individuals are better than their individuals personally, then we win the game. I feel like, you know, we're 2.5 hours on the road. You want to smile, you want to be happy, but I feel like a win would have put a lot of stuff to bed. But you know, that's our 4th clean sheet in 6 games. But then you can flip that and say we haven't scored in 3. So you know, loads of positives, loads of negatives still. But ultimately, on the road against Kettering is a good point.
As you say, a lot to unpick, particularly in the second half. Obviously pleased with the battling display, particularly at the back defensively, but were you disappointed that you couldn't make the man advantage count for 35 minutes or so, whatever it was?
I think when a side are so direct, it's hard to get a foothold in the game. You want to utilise that extra man in the middle of the park, and if the quality's not there, you don't allow you to do that. And with Kettering being so direct, and that's nothing against them. If that's what they are, that's what they are. You know, we just didn't manage to execute that today. And obviously, Kev Roberts getting a booking for the most bizarre yellow card I've ever seen in my life. And I say it to the lads, and say it there. Once you chipped it down, you have to earn your own look, make your own look, and that's not what I'm doing at the minute. You know, Jude goes through at the end, and another 8 goes in. And another day Jack scores at the back post, and you know they'll be saying the same. So ultimately, is it a fair reflection? Probably. But you know, like I say, there's positives, but there's still negatives there as well.
Player you touched on there, Jack Redshaw, of course, made his first league start for the club. You must have been pleased, particularly, you know, it was a physical game, you know, he's a smaller lad, but he put himself about, and it was a promising performance for him, wasn't it? Jack's
a player we've worked with in the past, and Jack was, you know, he's scored more goals than any other centre forward we've had. That's the hardest I've ever seen Jack Redshaw work, and that, again, that's no disrespect to Jack. That's a compliment. Jack's just works hard. He understands, you know, the predicament we've been in. You know, we're watching the 4-0 defeat. He's probably thinking, wow, we've gone from winning 5-1 at home and playing fluent football to coming to Kettering and keeping a clean sheet. Great, but in terms of the platform he gave the side, he set the stall out, and he set the tempo and defended from the front.
Sure, there was obviously a lot of disappointment from midweek, but one player perhaps to focus on. You made a switch today, and Dan Cowan kept his place in the side, and he had a strong performance, and he must have been pleased with him.
Best player on the pitch. Arguably people might disagree with that, but in my opinion, best player on the pitch. And I think when you've been an integral part of conceding 3 or 4 goals, and he holds himself responsible for that, you have to give the kid a platform to be able to get a reaction out of him, and I feel like we've done that today. And not just him, I think Simon Grant's been instrumental in a clean sheet as well today. Matty Williams on a booking, thought his discipline was very good. But again, you can't come here and not play well and get a result. You know, you have to come here, and whether that be moving the ball, whether that be defending well. As a team, I feel like we've done our job, and like you say, I'm not over the moon to come here and draw 0-0, but you know, a point's a point and a clean sheet's a clean sheet.
Absolutely, and it's a platform. Obviously, no game next Saturday, and then we're back in action in a week's time, Tuesday in the Senior Cup, and then of course a trip to York in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that little bit of time off my head too is good. You know, we can work on things we've probably been wanting to work on, and maybe, you know, go out, have some dinner next Saturday, train early, go and have some dinner, get a bit of bonding, and then really we should be looking forward to our next fixture. Massive game.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Dave.